4 o'clock, but I might as well continue on with it. Like I've been doing this marathon. The top 50 True Grace MCs by Kool. We're going to resume with number 11, Nas, the Ghetto Prophet. It's a thin line between paper and hate, friends and snakes, 9 millions and 38s, hell or the pearly gates. I was destined to come, predicted blame God. He blew breath in my lungs. Second to none. Wicked turned wise to widows, shoot through satin pillows, the desolate one. Took a little time to claim my spot, chill the man on the board until this game stopped and I sided with the Lord. Ride for the cause. While driving blanks shot in my doors, plotting I'm he tried to catch me with Dave Glocks to my jaws. Tribe sticking me up, but I flipped on these ducks. Instead of me, ambulances are picking them up. Feel what they don't understand, hate what they can't conquer. Guess it's just a inferior man became a monster. On top of the world, never falling. I'm a real as they come. From day one, forever balling. If you want it lyrical, street, spiritual, Nas is your man. Nas is truly a ghetto griot. He is one of the best poignant storytellers in hip hop. What's unique about Nas as a storyteller is that he does it as a lyricist. As most hip hop aficionados know, what lyricists are not truly great storytellers, and most storytellers are not really lyrical. Although many MCs do both, Nas is one of the few that do both at an extremely high level. In 1994, he dropped his first album, Illmatic. Immediately, the hip hop press was calling him the next Rakim. This, in my opinion, was very unfortunate. He created an atmosphere of confusion and conflict that was unnecessary. The first problem was that Nas, although very good, was nowhere near the level of lyrical efficiency of Rakim at the time. Second problem was we didn't know if this was a marketing ploy or hype to hype record sales, or if Nas was actually feeling like that himself. The problem was it was a marketing ploy, the expectations would be too high. If it was a marketing ploy, the expectations would be too high and the criticism would have been too hard. However, none of it mattered because Nas had the goods. By his second and third albums, everybody knew he wasn't the second coming of Rakim. He was the first coming of Nas. He had his own unique flow, which seemed to start this trend that we old school MCs call the offbeat conversational flow. Before Nas, every MC focused on rhyming with a cadence that ultimately put the words that rhymed on beat, the snare drum. Nas created a style of rapping that was more conversational than ever before. Although KRS-One was one of the first truly conversational MCs, he still used an intensity and lyrical tact that was more conventional than what Nas was doing. Nas almost totally eliminated the intensity and changed the way most rappers that came after him would rhyme. This was the beginning of the third generation of the three lyrical kings, Biggie, Jay-Z, and Nas. Of the three, Nas was truthfully the more cerebral, while Biggie was the potent intensity, and Jay-Z the flashy, slick flavor. Nas seemed to be more spiritually inclined, more well-read within the context. Next time he released his album, I Am. And for me, it confirmed that I thought about his spiritual inclinations on the net streets. However, the title seemed to have a different connotation. Few years back, Jay-Z made Versus the Streets to asking who's the best among Biggie, Nas, and himself. 5 years and many years later, many fans thought that Nas was answering I Am. I think they totally missed the real meaning. I think that Nas was using biblical reference to esoterically confess his connection to God. Nonetheless, on the streets, when it comes to hip-hop, sometimes the perception becomes reality. By 2001 in the end, Nas and Jay-Z were in the second most popular battle in hip-hop history, the king of the streets versus the streets prophet. What was interesting to me was the fans showing their fickle nature. They overestimated, underestimated, and ultimately overreacted. First, because of Jay-Z's unprecedented 5-year dominance, the fans overestimated his touchability. They thought that he was untouchable. Second, because of Nas' seemingly cerebral and spiritual lyrical calm, the fans underestimated his ability to get gritty. And finally, when it was all said and done, after hearing both MC's records, the prevailing consensus was Nas killed Jay-Z. This is an exaggeration, also based on perception. Most fans had prejudged this and so wrong that they overreacted. When you go back and listen to those records back to back, you'll see it was a little closer than you might have originally thought. In my opinion, Jay-Z had the better record take over. Nas had the sharper lyrics. Nas' title Ether was more esoteric than the average one might expect for a battle record, mostly because the battle is about the MC, the lyrics and not the music. Nas was the winner, although Jay-Z came back with another answer because he made a reference to a child in the song. Many fans thought he stepped out of bounds. It made him look like momentarily weak. This heightened the perception of what Nas had done to him. The battle Nas seems to have a psychological edge. This goes back to something I always said about battles. They underestimate a true lyricist because in a battle, it's more about the lyrics than anything else. Furthermore, not as a true lyricist that's also spiritually lyrical. Spiritual energy usually heightens your spiritual ability, and that is almost unbeatable combo in battle. This is why Kyrus One is usually virtually invincible. Now it's like the Kung Fu master. For that, I mean, he's like a teacher that really knows how to fight, but he'd rather have teach the art. This is very evident in the work on his last album, God's Son. The title once again says it all. You can almost tell just what you're going to get in an album just by reading the title. They can't break me or shake me. They too fake to come kill me. Their faith is with Satan. They mixtape me, I'm filthy, which off the ghetto med leads, so now they want to dead me. There's gonna be a murder. Confront me, their burners are empty. Middle passage, I made it. I'm from the land of David, the Nazarene of Bethlehem. They had me wrapped in blankets. Your bunch of backward gangsters, your signing affidavits, snitches and smiling faces, got you blowing the trial. I hate this. Hoping my child can see through this. Trying to be a good daddy. I was there when she was born. She'll be there when I'm buried. Kind of weird and scary. All my years have prepared me. What I fear is my temper. I see clear to the center. Right through a man's soul, straight through his eyes, straight to his heart. I'm still alive. How did I make it this far? Because I've been high, I've been low, searching for a way to go. Every single night I pray. And Lord, I'm on this battleground, lost just waiting to be found. I guess it's the warrior's way. Right now, Nas is somewhere else. He's on another level. Although his body of work has been solid for 9 years, he has never done an album as the versus Godson. The subject matter. The lyrical content is definitely more thought-provoking than ever before. He has slipped into that real zone that Tupac, Latif, and others have slipped into. He's now starting to be viewed as a voice for the culture, rather than a voice of the culture. His lyrical game was always right, but even stepped up the flow. For the first time, other than on songs like Hate Me Now, you can feel the passion coming out of him throughout the whole album. In conclusion, there's a lot of high MCs right now that are finally enjoying high success and making lots of money. Too many, unfortunately, of them don't have anything else to say of any value. Now it's the intention of those MCs. There's a lot to say, and he says it well. And I'm glad that he's lasted long enough to see the real money in the game. Right now, Nas is at the top of the game. His game. As far as MCs go today, Nas is the best MC. And the rule is, if you are ever the best MCs in the game, at any point, you're automatically one of the greats. Nas is one of the greatest. Strength, street level lyrics. Nas always keeps the lyrics at street level, as it never feels like you're talking down to people. Undynamic. Many fans don't catch lyrical nuances he brings. There's no vocal exposing the inflection of the cadence. Combine that with the orthodox flow. Many times he loses listeners because so it can become inconspicuous. Hate me now, they shoot me. People say hate me now, you look still matic. Nas got an originality for 90 for originality because Nas brought his own style to the equation. But basically, he was not too far outside the scope of what was already being done, but he brought his own energy. 95 for concepts, 85 for versatility. Made a great point when he said, if I ruled the world with Lauryn Hill, there was a social commentary in there. 85 in vocabulary. 100 substance. Flow, it gets a 90 because he invented a new flow, according to Kool. It's what we old schools call the offbeat flow in the beginning. Now it's kind of taking over and everybody's doubted that flow, but he's kind of the prototype of what we were calling offbeat flow. Flavor 75, 90 freestyle, 80 vocal presence, 85 live performance, 90 pure value, 90 body of work, 80 industry impact, 85 social impact, 90 longevity, 100 lyrics, 95 battle skills, 1,505 average score, 88.5. Thanks for hitting the like button and subscribing. Thanks for if you did subscribe, appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel. Thanks for hitting the like button about Nas. Just finished looking at him. Talk about him. So let's get into the top 10 best casualties of the substance wars. This is about the superficial nature of capitalism and hip hop. MCs usually have a harder time getting a record deal than their less substantial peers. These are the best MCs outside of Chuck D and KRS-One in this category. Number 10, he put Nonchalant, Wisdom and Words. Number 9, Kim Shabazz, Afrocentric Spitter. Lin Q at number 8, Aggressive Spitter. 7 for Chill Rob G, Poetic Street Politics. Number 6, Intelligent Hoodlum. The Brown Paradox, Paris, Lyrical Activist. CL Smooth. Number 4, Poignant Poet. King Son, Father Freestyle Battle. Cam, Poetic Pundit, and Brother J, the best. So that's who we had as the top 10 best casualties of the substance wars. So I'm done. I'll come back real soon with number 10. We get into the top 10 of Kool D's top 50 greatest MCs ever. We're going to get into that. We're going to go into the top 10 and keep moving. So until then, talk to you soon.